What's up, guys? Welcome back to another HERR Lounge podcast. All right, we're just going to get right into it with the positive quote of the day. Staying positive doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time. It means that even on hard days, you know there are better ones coming.
It's true. Although, go ahead and take a sip of your coffee. Although we know that most of the time, it's going to be probably a good while before the sun starts to shine. Like, you got to stay in that darkness, for a bit.
The sun don't shine forever. I don't know the rest of the rap, but it goes something like that. And I wish I remembered it all right now.
You have allergies, right? Have your allergies been acting up?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't have allergies, but something happened every 2 years, Marisol. I always get like a sinus thing and pressure every 2 years.
You sounded today. I was going to ask if you were sick.
I saw you last Wednesday when T was here and Javi was here. I saw you Wednesday. I woke up Thursday fine. I went to sleep Thursday like, something don't feel right. And I woke up Friday and just like slight scratchy throat. I started downing zinc lozenges and all kinds of
it was
elderberry.
COVID?
I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I didn't even take, at this point, are we still taking COVID tests at this point? Are we really?
If it is, then hey guys, I think it might be COVID.
Yeah, I think it's just a cold, right? So I just started downing what I could, like tea and this and honey and lozenges, and I felt better in my throat. And then like Friday afternoon, like I started feeling this nasally shit. So I was like, all right, this sucks. And the Saturday was terrible, and then Sunday got better, and then yesterday was like fine, and today is just like the remnants of it. So every 2 years, right before springtime.
Well, Sunny has had this congestion cough for I don't know how long. And every time I call her pediatrician, of course, the question is, does she have a fever? I'm like, no. And then they're like, just get something over the counter,
What can you give a baby like that?
It's Zarbee's. It's like natural stuff. And it's finally going down. I just don't, that's the problem. I'm one of those that doesn't like to give the medicine all the time. So like I'll give it to her in the morning and she's sounding better. I'm like, I don't want to give it to her again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's medicine and she's got an actual allergy medication. And I just really try hard not to give her that one.
Penny?
Sunny.
She has an allergy already?
Yeah. She has an allergy medication already because she gets like last night. I mean, I don't know what time I went to bed. She can't breathe. Like she's like congestion. We have a humidifier. We have Vicks on her feet and a little towel with Vicks so she can, kind of smell it. I let her sleep with me like kind of elevated so I can hold her up and, stuff like that. It's just like she's bad. Penny gets bad, but usually once we give her like kid allergy medicine, she's good. If Sunny's does not go away, like by Friday, I'm going in. I don't care anymore. Like it's been going. It'll be a week.
Yeah.
So I think that's long enough. Like, no, bitch, it's been going on for a week now. Yeah. It's time for her to be seen. Like she needs to come in. So I'm gonna let it ride for a week or let it see how we end up by Friday.
Yeah.
And it goes away, and then it comes back.
Yep.
So right when you think
we're in the clear,
it's just like next thing you know, it's like her coughing crazy, and so it's one of those things. So hopefully she gets over that because I'm just needing to sleep too. By the way, on top of everything else, so whatever. Anyway, so. I told y'all Marissa has me on these soft white underbelly documentary or whatever. I guess they're kind of documentaries because they're just talking about different people. And for some reason, I treat it like a podcast, and I don't need to watch it unless like I'm going to stop light. Then I'll look to see what the person looks like. But there's all kinds of stuff. It's from like crackheads to homeless to porn stars to sugar babies. I just saw one of this girl, and this is just how like, and here's why it's so interesting to me is because you see these people and you're like, we're just a bunch of interesting and weird people.
Yeah.
Like we are. Like I'm sure there's something weird about you. If someone saw it, there may be something weird about me. And I just kind of realized it, starting with this one girl, very pretty Filipino girl. I mean, she's very pretty. And she said that she's just always kind of found it like very attractive, like the whole people watching you have sex.
Wait a minute. She finds this attractive?
Yes.
Okay.
She's always found it like just very like, and in her words, and this is going to sound so vulgar, but I hate to say it, but she just says, there's nothing like having a DICK in your ASS. I can't even say it.
All right. I'm in.
And she's like, and I just like it. And she said she would throw sex parties when she was in high school. She would get these rooms and everybody would just be having sex. And then she would just let guys basically gangbang her. And then she said after, they would just go have breakfast together and it'd be like, hey, what's up? Like they were just cool, like hanging out. Like no big deal. Like everyone's penis didn't just go in me right now. We're just all cool hanging out, like having a combo over fucking burgers and fries.
Just first get some butthole action, then some Belgian waffles.
Well, it's butthole and everything else.
Right.
So
naturally, right? You don't just stop there.
Yeah, I guess not. And so she's like, I don't know. So she said she pretty much like, that's her thing. That's her jam. She's always liked it. She's very successful, meaning she lives in a penthouse in LA. And I always say allegedly, especially with these sugar babies that are on there, how they always say that they're making all this money. I mean, we want to believe them, but I feel like she says she's invested her money. So let's just hope that that's really true. She has an OnlyFans as well. And so she does all kind of crazy shit on there. But she's in an open relationship because she says she doesn't believe in monogamy. Like we were not created to be with one person. And I was like, what the fuck? Where is she going with this? And she's like, we're not made to be with one person. We're made to have different DICKs all the time, because how boring is life to have the same one for the rest of your life? And I just was looking at her. Again, she's so pretty, right? And the way like these words coming out of her mouth just make her like, I'm not a guy. And maybe another guy would just not really like. And she's like, we need to normalize sluts. Those her exact words.
I like this person. I don't know about you.
I was just like, what? And it's funny because the host, Mark, forget whatever his last name is, he'll say like, he always will ask, what happened in your childhood? Because usually she goes, I know you were going to ask that. I knew you were going to ask that, but nothing happened in my childhood except for my mom. My parents were strict. And she's like, and I didn't get molested. She's like, I didn't get raped. She's like, I didn't get nothing. She's like, I forgot what she said she saw or watched. And that's what made her think like, oh, this is what I would like to do. Like she found it attractive. So then Mark went on to say that in the past, other interviews that he's done with this type of like sex worker, they've said the same thing, that there's very few out there that have never had any type of trauma happen to them. They just saw something and they naturally were like, I like this. I want this. She's, again, I think Pete has always said like, sex is never about sex, it's about power.
Right.
And basically that's what she said. She's like, the amount of power that you have is, amazing. Like, you're controlling everything. You pretty much can say what you want. And she's like, why have we created this stigma that it's a bad thing for a woman to have do whatever she wants to do? Like, she's like, why is it bad to have an orgy? Like, why is it bad to, and she likes the nasty stuff, like the shitting, the peeing.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Come on, why you gotta go that far?
I mean, she said it. She said she likes all that stuff.
On her, or just seeing it, or?
Both.
Wow.
She likes doing it and receiving it. Like, she says she'll just like someone to like pee on her and she gets off.
Okay.
And I'm just like watching this whole thing wondering, and let me tell you, she's got a cute body. She said, I forgot which one of her jobs, I guess, that she does. paid for the boobs, and her boobs are not like this disgusting. They're just like perfectly fine for her body. Like, I'm telling you, she's a cute girl. We got to show the picture whenever you do the thumbnail.
Yeah.
You got to use her.
Okay.
You got to use her picture, because you guys are going to be like,
okay,
well, why? You know? And granted, I would say she could probably date any guy. I mean, because she's pretty like that. But I was just surprised at like how sexual. I mean, the sexual drive was like this. It was just out of control. So she still has sex parties, right? And she'll throw them at her penthouse. She's like, and it's just beautiful. You'll just see random people having sex all over my house, and I'm just thinking, disgusting. So these people always have sex parties. It's the same kind of group of people. So they go and get tested right before they're going to do their sex party. They'll get tested, and then they come and have their sex party.
At least they're being safe.
I was like, normalized sluts. I had never heard of that. She's like, there's nothing wrong with being a slut. I don't know why everyone says being a slut is a bad thing. And I'm just like, no, really, what happened?
Well, okay, here's my thing. Maybe we can have a little bit of a back and forth on this, because prior to meeting my wife, I would have listened to that girl and been like, I get what she's saying, and I'm pretty much like 95% on her side. Because I always used to say, and I still believe this, it's sluts make the world go round.
Oh my
gosh. Now, for better or for worse, these women are going to put these guys through certain situations that are either going to make them into, hopefully, like the contribution to society that they will become in 10 or 20 years, or they're going to totally break them, and they're going to be a really crazy, disgruntled guy that was fucked over by a lot of girls. It's just, it's life, right? So you have to, if you look at it from that lens, they have their place, they have their purpose. It could be positive, and sometimes, obviously, it's pretty negative.
And she says, like, that sluts play a very positive role in life.
I totally agree.
And she said she feels like, can you turn me up a little bit?
Oh, yeah,
Maybe it's
yeah.
just me.
Are you two? Yeah, number 2.
There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, way better. I was just like, what did you see as a little girl? Like, if your parents were strict, what did you watch? Like, it's like, I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying like, and I know this is always a big debate about prostitution being legal, right? Mm-hmm. I think if prostitution was legal, I think the world would be a little bit different. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I feel like you just wouldn't have a lot of this shit happening. It's no longer going to be taboo. It's going to become like a strip club where it's there anytime you want it. You can go tomorrow if you feel like it. So if anything, I think prostitutes would lose work.
They probably would.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's no longer like because I feel like I'm not saying that there's not creeps that go and look for prostitutes or go look for that. But if you're like someone that just like is like, oh, this is so taboo, going for the high of that risk or whatever it is,
I should take that back. I think they'd have more work.
You think they'd have more
I really
work?
would, yeah.
Oh man, I think that they would have less because it's so accessible now.
But that's what most guys want. Most guys want the activity, but they're risk adverse, so they're not going to go and like put themselves in that sketchy situation. But if it was legal, they'd be like, oh, I'm there every fucking Friday, right? Or I'm there like twice a week.
Okay. I just see like, and then how are they going to report their taxes?
I mean, we could find ways to circumnavigate. They can find ways to circumnavigate that.
That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be like prostitutes because they probably get paid. Strippers because they get paid cash.
Yeah.
So like
sure.
It's almost
they're
like
not taking Venmo for their services.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I'm sure you could.
Actually, they do now.
God, dude.
Okay.
What is it called? Just massage time?
No, that you just don't put nothing. You just send Venmo, like a friend Venmo thing, she said.
Okay. See, they're the ones that are ruining. Now the IRS wants to fucking tax everything over $600 that you send in those transactions.
That's why, because you're kind of like, you're doing this business. I was just like in awe about it because she did say that she doesn't have like a one sugar daddy or he's just kind of like a sugar daddy whenever she needs something. So it was very interesting though, but it just makes you think like how many women out there are like that, right? That are just there's one lady who just kind of she does the whole OnlyFans thing also, but she says she loves it because she gets to be with her kids. She's a regular mom during the day, homeschools her kids, has activities with her kids. They're involved in everything. They go to bed. The camera comes on. She goes to work. She gets up, and I almost couldn't be mad at her.
Right. What is she doing on the OnlyFans? You know,
I don't know, but it's funny because even Mark says it all the time. It's like, I never understand. People get so angry about this, but you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
Except for like, and I was like, I was like, well, yeah, technically they're not hurting anybody but themselves, right? Because you're the one running the risk of catching something because you're letting someone raw dog you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and then stick a cucumber in you afterwards.
Yeah, and do whatever. Yeah, whatever. Because she was talking about some crazy shit. And I was just like, oh my God. Well, as I'm telling you, I've been watching so many of them.
This might get me to start. I've never seen one, to tell you the truth.
Oh my God. So I've watched gangster ones, like guys who were in gangs, like hardcore up there high. It reminded me of Jesse. Except
Jesse. Olguin?
Olguin from
Right.
Alexit, because a lot of their stories are about, like, again, power, respect, how they got there, and just where they are now. You know what I'm saying? Like in life and how they see things different. They'll have like 6 or 9 kids. Are
these stories of them like coming out of it on the other side? Kinda?
Yeah, like they're out of the gangs now. Well, one guy, even though he said he can never get out, he's just not active. And so the gang respects that, I guess. Like, you're not active, but you're still like, because he's so high up there or something.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the reason why.
So he stays associated with them, but he's not.
Yes and no. He has not done anything gang related, but I don't really know how gangs work. So something like he can't get out.
You probably know more than I do, so I'm not gonna lie.
I don't really know about how that works. Right. I mean, hello. But okay. So then going back into the sex thing, because these pedophiles that go on these video games and lure these little kids and all that. This is where I'm going with all this, because sex is so open now to where no one thinks there's anything weird, right? Or we call someone they, or them. I mean, I saw a post the other day, guys, about how someone, I can't even read it. Literally, it was a math problem for me. Thank you for making me so happy. Them. I love them so much.
Them, comma, right? I love them so much.
I was like,
that's ridiculous.
Who is there a crowd of people? Like, because her partner's pronouns are they, them.
Did you see Jeffree Star's quote? Don sent it. I think, Don or you may have sent it in the group.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was saying how that's how why conservatives like him or something like that, because there is no they or them. Is that the one? Or which one? Or you're either a boy or a girl?
You're either trans, male, or female, right? There is no they, them or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Something like, he said something like, that's why the conservatives like me, because I keep it real. And then Poplitics posted something about that. And they're like, really? Does he really have fans in the conservative world? And a lot of the comments were like, that's the problem. The minute somebody says what you want to hear, they're part of your crew.
Yeah.
But other people were like, I don't agree. Like, I appreciate the fact that, yes, he likes to look like a girl, but he knows he's a boy. He's a guy. Right. And he acknowledges these. He's not like fucking making up shit. Like, it's real plain and simple. I like to wear wigs. I'm fucking gay. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like I see him as an OG.
OG gay?
Yeah. Same thing with Blair White, Well, she goes by
she's
Blair.
Trans though, right?
She's trans, but she hasn't chopped it off.
But Jeffrey's not. It's Jeffrey, right? Jeffree Star?
Jeffree Star.
He's not trans.
I don't know if he's trans. He just does the.
I never followed him, to be clear, and I think you did.
I did. I do.
You knew quite a bit about him, right? So he's just a gay guy that likes to dress up, or was at least when you were following him.
I mean, he still wears the wig, so I'm not sure where he is now because he was going wigless for a while. He rocked the bald head for a hot second. I don't know. He said something about the Illuminati in LA was trying to get him because he was gonna. That's why he's in Wyoming now.
All roads go back to the Illuminati.
He moved to Wyoming.
No
he
shit.
owns this fucking big ass ranch over there.
What?
Because he fucking couldn't deal with what was happening in LA anymore. He's
It's not
like,
a very good hiding spot if you have a big ass ranch.
well, he's like by Kanye or some shit like
no
that.
Shit.
So anyway, yeah. So he's like not about this shit, but I'm not sure how into about it he's not, or what he does or doesn't agree with. I don't know, because I also know he said like I can say it because I'm part of the alphabet, or he made fun of it like because I guess it has so many letters now, or he said some comment like that. He was on a podcast. I haven't listened to it, but I need to listen to it so that we can kind of go back and dissect that whole little wherever he stands. But going now I'm watching, and I know you guys are thinking like, why are you watching all this sex stuff on this? Because you watch one, it gives the next one. So the next one that I saw was about, they used to be a couple. They're porn stars. They used to be a couple, and he's old. They're older now.
They were porn stars both that were a couple?
And they were a couple. That's kind of how they kind of met. And she is still doing it. He still does it, but not. He's losing views. And this is where I'm going. Check this out. We're going from hardcore. This girl saying that she likes all this craziness, right? And then you have this guy who says if his videos that he uploads on Pornhub, on Pornhub.
I'm sure that's website
right?
too.
Yeah, I'm sure. Is it?
I don't know.
Pornstar?
Pornstar.com. That has to be a website.
If it's not on if the Pornhub, I guess like a YouTube. This is why I was laughing. If it's not like man banging his stepdaughter and stepmom, whatever, like weird caption or whatever. If it's not that out there, he said his views have been so low on there. Damn. And he said it's all because people are going out of control. He said the number one right now being watched on Pornhub, what do you think it is?
I know this. It's trans.
It's trans sex. It's no longer
not because I've looked it up. I'm just saying I've mentioned it on RPT, I think. I can't remember who was talking about it, but I think somebody on Rogan was talking about the limits of man, who was it? But keep going.
Well, he just said the amount of people enjoying to watch porn, trans porn is,
I heard that.
And he's like, I can't even get paid. He's like, what happened to the I guess more, I don't know, soft porn, I guess it would be. What I mean by that is he likes the whole storyline. Remember back then, you maybe don't.
I remember
know.
Skinamax.
Yeah, where there was a storyline,
sure.
Right? You met at a restaurant, you went back home.
Of course.
That's what he liked still. But he's an older man, and he's good looking on top of that. So he wasn't this ugly old man.
Ron Jeremy kind of guy.
He was still his body. He still took care of his body. He was still in shape. And so he finds those things very important, to still look good, because who's ever watching his porn,
right.
They need to feel attracted to him. And
he's offering a lot of value that way.
Yeah. I mean, he really, it's almost when I was here's the thing. And it's, my mind thinks someone in the social media world, because I was he's so right. I mean, he's got to keep his presence. He's got to look a certain way. He likes certain things. I totally get it. Right. Because that's kind of like me. I like the same font, so he was talking about all that. And I was like, wait, Pornhub? What? I don't even see. Pornhub has, what do you call it? What are those things called, Rob?
What
like a cover? No,
thumbnails.
A thumbnail?
Oh yeah.
I was I'm so confused here. I was I didn't know there was thumbnails on Pornhub.
Well, look, video interest, it's no different than YouTube. Like, if the thumbnail catches your attention, you're probably going to click on the video.
Okay, so then I guess that's what he was talking about. Well, then he was like, I had to get out of the kind of like, I guess, the more traditional porn industry where, it's like you come in, because he was saying that now it's about the hardcore shit. And so he's like, I don't want to do all the hardcore shit. And he's like, because he's like, now you can't have like, if you don't want to do trans sex, you're transphobic, bro.
Oh my God. Dude, it's reached porn.
And it gets worse. If you don't want to have sex with a black guy or a Hispanic guy or a white guy, like whatever race you are, you don't want to have sex with a different race than yours, you're a racist. So I haven't looked it up, but he said that this is another guy. I'm sorry, not the couple. But there was another guy. I'm telling you, I've been watching so many of these. He said that there was a porn star, I don't know if you know about this, who basically did not want to have, I think it was trans sex. So they were calling her transphobic, and they were attacking her on Twitter to where she ended up committing suicide.
Oh, wait, I did hear about this.
You did?
This was a little while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Well, that person was a really good friend of his. And so he was kind of pissed about it. And it was funny because Mark, I think, kept trying to he didn't want to get into that whole subject of like discrimination or whatever. He's like,
Let's stick to the porn.
Stick to the porn, yeah. But she said the guy, now we're going back to the couple, they broke up. It didn't work out. She's really wild and she likes to do crazy shit. Like almost like how you said, how many things can I stick up my butthole? And I was like, okay, like this is getting out of control. She's like, and he was laughing. He goes, and they were British. And so he was like, that's why I couldn't stay with her. You see this? She's way too crazy for me. It was fun at first, but then after a while, it's like, there's only so much of this, even as a porn star, that I can take. So one porn person can't take another porn. There's levels to this porn shit that you're willing to do. He's like, I'm not willing to have the trans sex, and he's not willing to also do the, same, guy. Because he says there's a lot of men that are not gay, but the money is so good that straight men are like, well, fuck it. Like, I mean, shit, that's a lot of money. And we're talking about, he's like, this is a scene that may take us, depending on like how hard you can stay throughout the scene. He's like, you're kind of like making like $107,000 for 30 minutes. So
how much?
It can be anywhere between like, depending on who you're with, it can be 10,000 up to 100,000.
Wow.
For like a gay scene. And so some of these straight men will be like, well, I mean, it's 30 minutes. It's only 30 minutes.
I'm only gay for a little while, 30 minutes. I mean, 100K.
I mean, 100K, would you be a little gay for 30 minutes?
How's a little gay?
I mean, I don't know what they were doing, but he didn't get into details about how gay the sex was.
If I go any further in answering this question, you know how many clips are going to be in the Discord?
Oh my God.
There's already one in there where I don't even know where it came from, where Chingo and I were talking about something. I don't know. I don't even want to repeat it because there'll be another clip about it, but I'll show it to you later. These fucks post about it every day in the Discord.
Oh, I think they posted it in our Discord where they were like, Donna Joe, and by the way, guys, on the Discord, I'm Donna Joe, at Donna Joe and Don.
Oh yeah, they probably did.
Yeah, like, is there something that we need to talk about? And I was like, what are they talking about? I had no idea what they were talking about. But anyway, so he said a lot of guys will do this because of that. So they didn't work out, but that girl still is active and she does crazy shit like that. She's like, it's so fun to me. She's like, it's so fun. She's like, I love to push the limit. Yeah. So when they come with like crazy ideas, she's like, fuck yeah, I'm all for it. Like, she's like,
she's always game. Like did she say there's anything she doesn't do?
No.
Oh my God.
anything. She says she's game for it. There's a young guy that I watched where he said, he's the one that was talking about like where he got into like, now you're racist if you don't want to have. That guy said that there's times where like, you know, I mean, you've been fucking all day, so it's like you got to keep it going because there's several scenes now, right? And so he says like they've got to inject something in, because sometimes not even like Viagra works anymore for them to where they can't stay hard. They use, I think it's the medication that I guess like for somebody that's paralyzed or something like that. If anybody's listening, they know, leave it in the comments on this YouTube video. But anyway, you inject it in the penis and it's basically you're rock hard. And it's so that you can keep performing the entire time.
I've heard about this.
You have? Okay.
Yeah. So they actually like they inject it. They also inject it with something. Or I mean, maybe that's what it is. But like it also helps. I mean, there's probably experts listening to this. Where like when they unload, it also is like very like projectile-y, you know?
Oh, he didn't say that part. Yeah. But yeah. And he said one time he was hard for so long it hurt. He's like, we were done with the scene.
Yeah, he couldn't go away.
And it wouldn't go away. He said it hurt so bad. Like he just wanted it to stop. And there was like nothing he could do. And it was just like hard the whole time. Yeah,
it's like the first time I saw my wife.
There you go. That was a good one, Don. Don. Yeah, so he was saying that Stormy Daniels, like him and her were really good friends, and so now she was like directing a lot of the films. And
Stormy was,
yeah, she would be.
Hey, what do you do when you retire? You start directing.
Well, she's always been like production, and everyone's just seen her. So a lot of the stuff that he said, a lot of the stuff that she's done, it's been stuff that she's actually, not only is she the actress, but she's also the talent, like the talent and the producer or the director of that, like something in that film. But he said that one time she was directing one, and she's like, I was in the bathroom and I was trying really hard to get hard. It's like, I couldn't do it. And so he goes in and he's like, Stormy, come here. He's like, no, dude, like, I'm not coming in there. He's like, no, come in here. Like, I need help. And so she helps him out. She's the one that injects him. And she's like, it wouldn't get hard even with the injection. They waited. So then finally she was like, you know what? Let's try again tomorrow. Well, he comes back in tomorrow. And so now he's better. He's like, he performs best in the morning. He doesn't like to work evenings. Is that not funny?
He can thrust better in the morning.
Yeah, basically. He's like, I do better in the morning than I do in the evenings. He's like, I'm done. Like, I've done too much in my day. I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, a lot of at that point,
you're tired.
You're tired. You're like a musket. You're just ready to go off once.
Yeah, like. And so you want me to go...
How many times?
For how long? No, because it's different scenes, you know? So he's talking about all that. And then he said that... this is what I'm telling you. It's so crazy how big this industry is, yet it's so much of what happens even in the real, like, movie world. So the next day he comes in, they're about to finish, like, the whole film. And then... everyone's happy, like, that's a wrap, yay, blah blah blah. And then it's like, wait, why are we over budget? And so he said, here comes Stormy. He's like, hey, you better go explain why we're over budget. And he's like, I was so embarrassed that I had to say I couldn't get off, like I couldn't get hard, so I had to come back the next day. And so now it was like they were pissed at him because they were over budget on the film. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And the way this guy got started he was just like this little random guy who met this girl and was like, oh, okay. He had a girlfriend, took her, somebody invited him, this like high profile porn guy. I forgot his name. And he took him. He's like, oh, I want to, like, so he was going to these places where I guess swingers went to, and these porn, I guess it's a club where a lot of the porn industry goes to, and they know like oh, it's going down with someone in here tonight, whatever. And so he said they went back, him and the girlfriend and another girl and himself, they went back to party at, he's like, how was I going to say no to him? Like, we're talking about like he's a celebrity, I guess, in the porn world. And so he was asking for something. Like, I don't know if it was a drink or cigarette. I don't know what he was doing, but he was like, well, dude, would you go get some? And he's like, I'm not going to say no to this guy. He's like, he's a celebrity. Like, it's almost like, the way I pictured it was like, imagine whatever celebrity you're partying with. This is like your person that you're like, oh my God, I'm partying with this person. And now they're asking you like, hey, you don't have so-and-so. You're like, no, but I'll go get it. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. So he said he didn't think nothing of it. Comes back. The porn star's totally effing his girlfriend and the other girl. And he's like, how was I going to say anything to him? I was like, what? He's like, I just started filming it. And then the guy afterwards told him, he's like, dude, you're really going to make it far in this industry. I was like, what just happened right now? You're really going to make it far in this industry. He's like, the fact that you didn't go crazy and start trying to fight me, but instead pulled out the camera and started taking pictures of me fucking your girlfriend. He was like, you're going to do this. You're going to make it. What? What just happened? That's it. So I'm so confused. Like, this is the advice you give someone, or did you just say that because you just effed his girlfriend?
Oh my God.
Which one was it?
What a situation.
I mean, you come back, open the door, and you see your celebrity porn person that you're so obsessed with and you think he's a badass effing your girlfriend. Oh, sorry, y'all. I didn't know that this was on.
Who puts a ringer on?
I know. I never kind of do. I don't know. Oh, I know why. I had it on yesterday at the store because I had the phone. Anyway, so it was so crazy because I was just like, you just like felt so good that the celebrity guy said he effed your girlfriend and now you're just going to be happy about it. Like, oh my God. That's kind of how he saw it. Like this celebrity effed my girlfriend and now he basically gave me his blessing.
People are weird, dude.
That's why I just said, like, what he does is insane. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start having people on the podcast that are fucking just out of this world. Like, just do the craziest shit.
That's your angle now? I mean, it. I'm down.
I really enjoy watching it. Why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been watching so much of it, from crackheads to homeless to... The ones that are the hardest for me to watch are the homeless. I mean, are the molested ones.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Those are the hardest ones for me to watch because I just kind of always feel like, okay. They're asking, I told you, Sonny's had this. Luis was asking me. I thought I had already talked about this. That's why I was like,
no.
And I don't ever really go back to listen to my episodes, so I didn't know. So that's why I asked you when I got here. I was like, did I ever tell you about the porn stars? Because I knew I wanted to come talk about it. Well, one, I was like, damn. I mean, you can't get away with anything anymore. Like, you can't have trans sex because you're transphobic. Now we're talking about, these are choices that you're making about who you're going to do a movie, like a sex scene with. And now you're getting you're getting considered racist, or I'm like, y'all are going too fucking much. Yeah. Like, y'all are doing much. By the way, he also said, this guy's the one that was saying that he was like, I don't want to do trans sex or whatever. He did say that so many people from the gay industry are coming over into like the heterosexual industry because there's so many of the trans people coming over, and now because they're considered straight, you get what I'm saying?
The gay guys.
Well, so the ones that are transitioning from male to female, right? Mm-hmm. Now they want to have sex with males. So that's a heterosexual scene.
Yikes.
But if he still has a penis, is it?
I thought they were transitioning from male to female, right? So
they still have the parts.
Oh, but they still have the dude parts.
They still haven't taken it off.
Oh. I was going to say, can you even, like, are there transition people that have the thing cut off and then turned into the woman thing that do porn? That sounds painful and also not very...
We should look that up.
We should not look that up. Do we have an extra computer? We don't mind getting all the viruses on the internet.
We should probably look that up.
I mean, just based off of what you've told me and we've seen from like Instagram, like this is what happens, kind of like, what do you call animated things? It seems like it's not pleasant to look at and it seems very painful, if I had to guess.
He said that the amount of views on that type of sex on Pornhub, he said are like millions of views.
Okay.
He's like, it's not like, oh, it's got 150,000. Oh, it's got 400. No. We're talking about millions of views. So either we have a lot of sick people in the world or curious people, or we're just fucked. Like, I don't really know. Literally. Like, I was like, this is insane. But the crazy thing is that they're using Pornhub to sex traffic women.
Right. Well, the whole porn industry, right?
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know how to phrase that.
And so it makes you wonder, like, so are the girls on there doing it for them, or
are the girls
somebody, like, how many, like, I'm just going to give an example, right? You log on to watch whatever, right? You Google, oh, I'm sorry, no Google, whatever,
no
search.
Google. No Google.
Search.
Dark web stuff.
Yeah, like you search on Pornhub, whatever, right? Whatever you want to watch.
Yeah.
And then the female that you're watching, how do we know that she's there because she's doing that because she wants to, or not someone's making her? And she has to pretend to enjoy it, even if she's not enjoying it, because she's got like this person who is...
Yeah, fucking have a gun on the other side of the camera, like, you better fucking
kind
perform.
of, right? I mean, I don't know how sex trafficking works, but actually there's a sex trafficking survivor one that I haven't watched yet. It's on I want to hold that one because if I'm not mistaken, there's a month coming up that's dedicated to that, and I'd like to have someone come in again to talk about sex trafficking and so forth. So this weekend, you remember Miriam when we had her, the detective?
Yes.
Okay, so she kind of, I saw her this weekend. Pete's niece had her birthday parties for their kids, and she was there, and she was talking about how much like pedophile shit is happening out there through TikTok, and by the time they get to it, it's crazy because it starts this and that, and it starts with Roblox or whatever that is,
the game,
to where it's like, hey, I'm your friend type of thing. Like, what? Your parents don't give you no money? Man, that's messed up. Here, I'll give you some money. Oh, but you got to send me a picture of, like, you know, your chest or whatever it is. And so then you go, he just said, then you go knock. Pete will probably have a better story because I wasn't there. I was over there watching my child. Because, you know, I don't get to have adult conversations anymore. So he was sitting there and he was saying that, she said something along the lines of, like, by the time they go knock on the door and they tell the parent, like, do you know this person? It's like, yeah, that's my child. It's like, okay, well, we just confiscated these pictures off of this person's computer who is a pedophile. And so it's like insane, like, stories. And I was just like, I'm kind of glad I wasn't sitting there listening to that, because I mean, that's why it's like, just do your own porn with your husband. Like, do your own nasty shit. Like, don't watch other people's do shit. Like, you know, if you want to get creative with your partner, get creative with your partner, because this is like a sick little fucking world we're living in. I'm sorry, it is.
If you want to get creative with your partner.
Yeah, like, you know, like, and you should, you know, I mean, missionary is boring all the time. So no, you should not be doing missionary all the time. But also, you should also be, I don't know. I don't want to participate in the porn world, so I would not go watch anything like that. Obviously, I said Google instead of search, so y'all already know I probably have never.
True, but so we'll also say things like, oh, like fans only, or the
on whatever
like,
OnlyFans,
or like Hub Pro, or what is it like what? Part of me's like, is she really playing this up like she doesn't know, or is she like on there religiously trying to like criticize the actresses in the scenes?
I'm not. I mean, although when they say, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm just gonna be. Listen, I am honest with you guys. I don't like.
If there's one thing, she's honest.
Well, no, I really. Whenever they said, "Come on, let's just think about it,"
okay.
Rob.
All right.
When he said trans porn is through the roof, I mean, a little bit of me wanted to see what that was like. I mean, I was like, what? So she's dressed like a girl, but it's got a penis. Who is she having sex with? Is it another girl?
I'm pretty sure.
Because the girl who said she likes all kind of shit up in her butt, the one that was, so there used to be a couple. She's like, that's why this didn't work. That girl, she loves doing trans sex, she said. Well, so I don't know what that means.
I don't know if it was a comedian.
Knows what that means.
I know. I don't know if it was a comedian or who it was, but they were like, look, for instance, women, everybody loves women. Women love women. Men love women. Everybody loves women. If you're into porn and you're into tits and you're into like the shape of a woman, and you have this guy that transitioned to a chick but still has a dong, but you're also into, like, you're getting the best of both worlds. So they try to like rationalize the whole thing. I'm like, I can see what they're saying,
Okay. But why not just have okay, but because they have
boobs and like the butt, and they have a piece still.
But he's like feminine.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe for the scene he's like alpha dude from the bottom, and like.
But he's got a wig on?
Daisy.
Like he's got fake like makeup
she still likes women though.
No, that shit's getting a little weird.
It's super weird. This whole episode is very weird.
I'm telling y'all, I blame Marissa. Marissa is crazy. She sent me another one yesterday, and I meant to reply to her, but I was driving, and I wanted to say, I already watched that one. But
you're late. I saw it last week.
So late. I've already watched that one. When she listens to this episode, she's gonna laugh. But because I've already seen like so many of them, and there's so many good old ones. Because again, I've never been. I had only seen. I knew about soft white underbelly because of Marissa. I knew before her, but I had only seen one episode, and it was about I think it was someone who was like in the like, it was a prostitute actually. And so I think that's how I watched it. And I said, who the fuck interviews prostitutes? That's how I remember. I remember seeing that. And then when Marissa told me about it, I was like, oh, wait, this is that one where I saw the prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? And that's another thing. Those prostitutes too. I mean, those interviews are insane as well, because it's like, oh my God, you feel so bad for them. They're so broken. A lot of times they'll start to cry, because of all the stuff that they've been through. And it's like, it's so easy for someone who doesn't do it, right? For you to say, just fucking stop. But if that's there's a little girl on there. She's now 18, I think, but she started when she was 13, Rob, prostituting.
Whoa.
And, I mean, I get it, I guess, but like, she was more of a rebel. Like, she was more of like, didn't want to follow rules at home and blah, blah. And that's what I mean. Like, so many of them talk about like childhood trauma, right? And so I just like, all I think about is like, okay, some of us think we've had childhood trauma, but we've had nothing compared to a lot of people out there. Like your fucking little 5 spankings that you got, that you now converted into I will never spank my child again, is like not even like the tip of their nail of what they've been through. Like there was a girl that was saying like she was molested by her dad, and then she was taken away. And then when she was taken away, now the foster parent tried to, it was like constant molesting. And then, you know, she like grows up to be an adult and like, so she was a recovering drug addict, but she was a prostitute also during this whole time. But all the things that she had been through, and obviously why do you think she was on drugs this whole time? I mean, just to forget about and not feel the pain or the psychological. Exactly. And so there's so much more that goes into it. That's why I'm telling you, like, sometimes I'll be watching and I'll just be like wanting to cry for the, like, I just like get teary eyed. I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch this one. I don't want to cry. So I'm just not going to listen to this one. I don't do crying. I hate crying. So
let's listen to more anal porn.
Yeah. Let's like listen to somebody else's, like the gangsters. I love the gangster stories. Those are damn good. Really good. Especially when they tell their stories about being in prison. Bro.
So because we've been talking about this a lot. There's this guy, he's a random guy. There's a lot of these man on the street type videos, right? Most of them that I follow are like political guys, but this guy just does random shit. Just ask girls or guys random stories, usually like kind of like sexual crazy stories. So he has this one girl like, have you ever tried anal, right? It's this pretty white girl and she's just like, I'm 37. I've done everything.
Oh my God.
He's like, well, what does that mean? Go into detail. Like, well, what's everything? He's like, you done anal? She's like, I'm 37. You think I haven't done anal? And she's just like, she's looking at him like, you're so dumb. Like, of course, because I'm almost 40. What haven't I done at this point,
That's
right?
hilarious.
And the next girl was like, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? And she's like, so I let a couple guys run a train on me, and then I went home to my boyfriend and I let him eat me out. And he was like, did you clean up? She's like, I didn't have time. He just jumped on me. So no.
Is that real?
Bro, I swear.
I told you we're in a sick world. We're so sick. We're so sick out there. I'm telling you. If you watch some of these, y'all, listen, Soft White Underbelly needs to pay me right now because I just promoted the shit out of them. For an hour. And if you guys just would kind of watch half of these things, you would be...
Okay, give me one. Should I watch the one you talked about at the beginning with the Filipino pretty girl? Because I've never seen an entire episode.
Yeah, you should watch that one because, and let me tell you why. That one's the most, why I found that one interesting was she's the one that comes with no
baggage, no like trauma.
History of trauma except for her parents were strict.
Okay.
And so her parents ended up kicking her out because she was just kind of saying like the traditional Asian families,
right.
Like you must finish school, you must do this. And so she's like, I wasn't going to do that. She's like, I just didn't want to. And she's like, well, your parents are going to find out what you do. Cause she also has an OnlyFans as well. And so she does more shit for them there. And so she has more, like that's her other money. That's where she's making a lot of her money. Right. And then, she said at one point, she was kind of like couch surfing and, you know, kind of doing that when she was homeless for a little bit. And then she kind of got her her business together.
Yeah.
And then it was like, nah, I'm in a penthouse, bitch. Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
Listen, when they told me how much money they're making on OnlyFans, is it fans only or OnlyFans?
OnlyFans,
am I saying it right?
bro.
Okay, OnlyFans. I was like, what can I do? I thought an OnlyFans was created for like celebrities.
It was originally.
And then people just came on there.
Like everything ever. Like think of any industry, it's been sexualized to a point where it's pretty much porn that takes over. Even social media platforms. Everything's sexualized. Like it's all about ass and tits, which don't get me wrong, is great. But I mean, everything goes that way.
Because I was like, they were saying how Cardi B pretty much makes like millions of dollars on OnlyFans, but it's because she gave her OnlyFans. Hers is more like, I guess, kind of like what Patreon is, like where we give exclusive. And it's hers. It's not like her naked or anything like. It's just like exclusive content of hers. Like it's her and her family.
Yeah.
It's like they got to see her baby first. Like I don't think people have even still seen like what the second baby looks like. And so
I've seen UFC fighters, all kinds of people that have OnlyFans.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
I hear that, I thought it was like. When I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'd like to go see what celebrity I'd want to like subscribe to, right? For me, it would be honestly the Kardashians. Like that's what I was like. Oh, I'm
we
gonna
don't
go
see
on
enough
there.
of them.
Well, supposedly like that's what their apps were for. And I don't know what happened with their apps because they're no longer active on them. And I only subscribed to Kylie's because she's got really the blueprint to how to do shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I got to see what she's doing so I can like, kind of see how I can apply that to my brand or whatever. But I never got on it. I've never been on it, but I just remember thinking, oh, I'd like to see if the Kardashians on there. And then later on, it was like hit my OnlyFans, and I was like, what happened here? And then then it just is for porn, or I mean, for what now? For people to show their stuff? Or do celebrities
it's still the same?
have?
Yeah, it's everybody. I mean, most people that you follow on Instagram probably have an OnlyFans. To be honest with you, like I said, I said UFC fighter because there was somebody just the other day that were like, "Hey, follow me over on OnlyFans. I'm doing exclusive like training videos and camp, fight camp videos and stuff." And it's funny. I was going to say people in the comments that don't get that. They're like, "Wow, you're being a real thirst trap over here promoting your OnlyFans." He's like, "What are you talking about? Like, I got extra fight camp exclusive, content you won't see anywhere else. Like, if you want it, come hang out at OnlyFans." So it's not just people, getting gangbanged and getting railed.
Oh, so how do they get paid on there? So is it like YouTube?
No, it's just like Patreon. It's like exclusive content. So it's a membership. So you pay for a subscription model and your fans support you. It's another way. It's another content creator, supported by fans.
I wonder why they don't just use Patreon though.
That's a good question. I've never delved into OnlyFans. If Marisol wants to try one, we could probably create an OnlyFans for Marisol.
I mean, exclusive content.
Yeah.
It's too hard to upload shit on Patreon.
Oh, God. No, it's not. I mean, kind of is. But
is.
Once you figure it out,
it's like, I thought I wanted to start doing like mini blog posts on there, but video version where I like kind of typed out kind of my bullet points. Trust me, I've been really marinating on how to be better on my Patreons because, man, lately I've been not active on there. I read everybody's stuff, right? But it's like, okay, I can't reply right now. Like I can't reply right now. I'll reply, later, and then later becomes I'm now putting Sunny to sleep, or I'm folding clothes, so I never get to. Sadly, though, on Sundays is when I sit there and catch up
on 500 messages.
Oh, it's awful, and that's when I'll get on there and kind of look. But anyway, yeah, it was like that. I thought, well, this is maybe a way that I can kind of give a blog post to them and do like a short mini 10-minute video. And then I was like, oh man, this is really hard. I'm not doing this. Never mind. Next.
God. So we got to commit though.
I cannot do this. I was like, this is way too much work. I was like, you already know. I just want everybody to know, for those of you guys, because I do get messages from some of y'all on my DMs that'll say, how come you stopped posting to YouTube? I'm going to tell you right now. And I know everyone's like, what? Why doesn't she use, what's the other editing software? Like,
Final Cut.
Final Cut. Yeah.
Okay.
I use the iMovie.
Okay.
So there is a bunch of videos that all the videos are in there. I've just not edited. And we're talking about as far as like, I started to keep, because Jess Tier said, you should do a vlog about moving into your new house as you're remodeling it. So I have all these videos of Bobby.
The one you moved into 2 years ago?
Yeah. So that was February 1st. We made 9 months living there. So there's videos in my iMovie, like videos to be edited in my drafts from 9 months ago. So here's what I thought about that I was going to do.
Okay.
I was going to do an intro and just kind of say, these are lost tapes that were supposed to be posted back in June.
Her files, exactly.
And you're just now getting them because I never have time to edit. And I finally sat here and edited these last 3 videos. I don't know, because there's that many in there. I'm just telling you that right now. And the other day when I told you I had that whole mishap with the thrift store, that too was supposed to be a vlog. And I said, you know what? This is a 1-day thing. I'm only going to record what happened on Sunday versus I try to do like a what's going on throughout the week, and then I post it. That's kind of what I used to do before. And I said, no, I'm going to just do Sunday. How hard can it be? As soon as I get home, after we're out and about doing what we had planned for today, I'm going to sit down and edit it, and then I'm going to upload it. And there goes my first one. All those videos are still there too. So there you go, guys. So not only will I not have an OnlyFans, I will also not have a YouTube channel. And you will also not get exclusive content on Patreon because it's too much fucking work. No, but seriously, I do want to get back on it though. Real talk, real talk. I really liked making YouTube videos because we just don't have home videos anymore.
Right.
And those are my home videos, as sad as that sounds. Those are seriously my home videos. And I hate sometimes that I have to edit it for the sake of people watching so that you can you can keep them engaged. Because I was watching some of like when Penny, also my birthing videos. I paid for someone to record this shit, and I've yet to share that with y'all.
Put that on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get all that part. It's just kind of like the process
Obviously
of it.
So,
yeah.
But you can tease it however you want.
Oh, yeah, on OnlyFans. There you go.
Watch Marisol's birthing video.
Oh, my God. Imagine. I have the first one, too. But actually, no, she messed up that one. The camera went off. It turned off. You know how the cameras will shut off?
Right.
So she had set her camera up.
Fucking cannons.
And then it shut off. And she was like, so I'm going to refund you some money. And I'm like, what happened? So I only got the beginning of your birth. We didn't get it all. I was like, what? All that work? But
meanwhile, you have a baby that was born.
Right, exactly. But anyway, so I do want to get back on it because, like I said, those are my family videos, guys. And as sappy as that sounds, like, what? Why don't you just, where else do we upload them to? We don't have VHSs anymore. We don't have like DVDs anymore. We have thumbnails, and then you got to make sure you back up that thumbnail to a hard drive to another hard drive. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you just have to keep like saving and saving and saving, and that's so annoying to me. You have no idea. I've started to print my pictures because I'm over having all these. I have 23,000 pictures.
So you're printing them all?
I'm going year by year. So I'm doing like January, and sometimes those are like screenshots that I've never deleted. So it's allowing me to delete shit that I've like, what was this about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know. Or like something that I was going to buy. And so I screenshot it just so that I wouldn't forget whatever it is. But, I just like, I really feel like we kind of live for social media. We just don't live for memories anymore. Does that make sense?
That's a perfect jump off point for Friday's episode, actually, if you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's do it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Come on over to the Patreon. Join us so that you can get the private episode. Go to HERR Lounge podcast
Patreon.com
/HERR Lounge podcast. See y'all next week, guys.